I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Ukraine war. Zelensky visits front line near Bakhmut as Russia targets cities. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has returned to the front line near Bakhmut, where fighting has raged for months. The devastated city has long been a focal point of the war as Russian forces try to revive their military campaign in the east. His visit came as Russian forces launched a series of strikes on Ukrainian cities. At least 8 people were killed near Kyiv and in Zaporizhzhia. Ukraine's military said it shot down 16 drones, but another 5 got through. 7 people died in an attack on student dormitories near the capital in Ryazan. Then a rocket slammed into a block of flats in the southeastern city of Zaporizhzhia, leaving 1 dead and 25 wounded. Local leaders said the number of victims could rise. While President Zelensky condemned Russia's bestial attacks on civilians, he also visited the eastern front line, where Ukrainian forces have held Russia at bay for more than 7 months. He last visited the area in December. Footage released by the president's office showed him in an old industrial warehouse giving medals to battle-weary soldiers. "I am honored to be here today," he told servicemen, "in the east of our country, in Donbass, and to award our heroes, to thank you, to shake your hands." UK military intelligence said on Wednesday that a Ukrainian counterattack to the west of Bakhmut was likely to relieve pressure on the main supply route to the city, and that Russia's attack on the city could be losing the limited momentum it had. Fighting continues around the town center and the Ukrainian defense remains at risk from envelopment from the north and south, the statement added. Meanwhile, Russian occupation officials in Crimea said that a drone attack on the port city of Sevastopol had been repelled, days after President Vladimir Putin visited the city. Explosions were reported by residents, but the Russian-installed governor said 3 objects targeting the Black Sea Fleet had been destroyed and Russian warships were not damaged. There was no comment from Ukraine's military, which said earlier this week it had destroyed missiles destined for the fleet at a rail hub in Junkoy in northern Crimea. Ukraine's cities were hit by drones in the early hours of Wednesday and later by rockets. Rescue services searched for survivors after the upper floors of 2 student dormitories were hit in the city of Zhytomyr in Kyiv region. At least 7 people were killed, including an ambulance driver, police said. Among the 9 wounded was an 11-year-old boy. Hours later, 2 missiles crashed into 9-story blocks of flats in Zaporizhzhia, setting 2 buildings on fire. Officials said 1 person died in hospital and another 25 people were wounded. A number of flats were destroyed by the blasts, and an Air Force spokesman indicated they might have been hit by Tornado-S rockets, which have a maximum range of 120 kilometers, 75 miles. In a tweet, Mr. Zelensky said residential areas in Zaporizhzhia were being targeted and it could not become just another day in Ukraine or the rest of the world. The Russian attacks came a day after Chinese President Xi Jinping completed a 2-day visit to Moscow, promoting a 12-point peace plan. The Ukrainian president noted that every time someone tries to hear the word peace in Moscow, another order was given to launch attacks. President Putin said earlier that many of the Chinese proposals can be taken as the basis for the settling of the conflict in Ukraine, whenever the West and Kyiv are ready for it. The plan makes no specific proposals and does not call explicitly for Russian forces to leave Ukraine's sovereign territory.